what's going on, but it looks like someone is trying to rewrite history. There is something strange going on over there on that twisted, weird, diabolical island called the United Kingdom. I noticed today that there was a very, I won't say he was irate, but there was some kind of like weird thing going on with this response to Princess Diana. I'm sure you've heard something about it already, where they said Martin Bashir did something weird with paperwork, and that people in the BBC all the way up to the top seem to be a part of this plan to get Diana to speak. Anyway, the tone has changed from Diana being this, I guess you could call it victim of the royal family, or maybe the, I guess the neglected wife of Prince Charles. Ever since they've had this like campaign to turn Diana into this mentally ill person who didn't seem to know her right foot from her left, I've been very suspicious of that. And it's not to say that she didn't have some type of mental illness or that she wasn't bulimic. I'm not saying that she wasn't bulimic. I do believe all of those things are accurate. But it is possible for two universes to exist at the same time. There's the universe of I'm not doing so well, I'm struggling, and then the other one is I see what you're trying to do and it's not going to work. And so the idea that Diana was somehow coerced into doing this interview is as though they're leaning toward her words cannot be true. And so it gives William a chance to try to get the ups on Harry with this, devoted son struggling to find closure and get an understanding, and I won't rest until I get to the truth. And I hope that Team Sussex is adjusting for this BS, because there's something going on here, and I'm not sure exactly what it is, or maybe I shouldn't try to, articulate it until we know better, leaving room for the truth to come out. But there's just something that's not right about this. William all of a sudden seems to be so agitated and irate, trying to figure out exactly what happened to his mother, whereas it seemed to me he wasn't very interested in pursuing this for a long time. And God, how long ago was this? I mean, I've seen the British like circle and go back in the other direction and take a look at past transgressions and try to right a wrong. But this one, being such a high-profile case, how on God's green earth do you already not have the story? Why is this Lord Dyson finally finding his opportunity to set the record straight for all of us? I don't know what it is. I don't know if they're just trying to upstage the Sussexes. They have announced a trip to Scotland, that Kate went to the art gallery as a way to show that we're getting normal again. And God, what else happened? I mean, there's been a few. Oh, yeah. The Prince Charles and Camilla Parker Bowles, the Duchess of Cornwall. They went to Northern Ireland. They went to the City Hall over there. So yeah, there's something going on. And I think maybe everything is exactly as it appears. I don't want to make more out of it than what I should. But it looks like some one-upmanship, which is no surprise because this has been going on for quite some time. The other thing is, while we're paying so much attention to everything, looks like Zara Tindall is banned from driving because she was on the motorway, if I'm saying it right, speeding at 91 miles per hour. Yes, the Queen's granddaughter, Zara Tindall, was speeding her Land Rover down the highway at at 91 miles an hour. So they're not making a big fuss about it because, as usual, they're too busy attacking the Sussexes. A lot of these things go unnoticed because it's all Sussex all the time. This was, it barely made a ripple. But why would it? It's just Zara Tindall, the Queen's granddaughter, the equestrian champion. But just to give you an idea of some of the things that happen that nobody's paying attention to because, we're too busy trying to figure out what Harry's going to do next, or, if we can catch Meghan crossing the road or something. And then there's a more sinister situation. Apparently, Dan Wooten will have a live show 5 nights a week. Yeah, it appears as though he's going to have a live show 5 nights a week. What could he possibly talk about for 5 nights a week? That's kind of scary, but it's supposed to be a show where they give an honest debate on British news and such. But, those people, they cannot roll out of bed without, racing to their devices to see what the Sussexes are doing. So watch that space. That's going to be kind of interesting. I hope it's not going to be the making of a new nightmare. It's enough of it, and it's easy for us to say, well, I just don't pay attention to those things, and none of that stuff matters. But the truth is, anything that I feel is threatening to the Duke and Duchess of Sussex matters to me. And yes, it does. I won't say it necessarily keeps me awake at night, but it makes it difficult for me to sleep some night because I get very frustrated and, I get very defensive about Meghan and Harry because I feel like they've been given a raw deal. And if they're able to do the things that they have accomplished thus far with all of the adversities that happen to them from one day to the next, just imagine how much better the world would be if they didn't have these distractions, if they didn't have to respond to those tabloid attacks and such. But let's not pretend that these things don't matter because, as they say, the pen is mightier than the sword, and that's what makes some people in journalism very dangerous, because if they're doing their work out of a out of a sense of due diligence to the greater public, then that's a good thing. But if they are trying to shape characters to create a narrative and give the world a soap opera, ignoring the real life pain and suffering that they're causing for a pregnant woman who's stuck in some crappy servant's cottage on the Windsor estate, then that's a terrible thing. I will never forget, as long as I live, the complete absence of Meghan Markle from any place. The Duchess of Sussex wasn't seen for months at a time, and yet there was always some negative story, a new incantation of something horrible about her that defied logic, but there was an audience for it. And it was painful, and it definitely hurt. I won't lie to you and say that it wasn't painful to me, because it was. It was very painful. I'm not that strong where I can say, oh, I just dismiss stuff like that. And as far as the Duchess is concerned, she's not that strong either. When your mother calls you and your best friends call you, people who have been in your life like siblings, say, I don't know what's going on. We haven't seen you. And there's all of this terrible stuff going on. Even if you're not looking at those tabloids, you are receiving some very grim-faced Zoom calls or phone calls where people are just worried about you. I was worried about them, and if you subscribe to this channel, you probably feel the same way. And as for Harry, I don't think anyone that he married would have been well off. I think whatever happened, that person, that woman would have found herself mired in this muck of the tabloids. But the degree in which Meghan is affected by it is purely racist. Purely racist. People from the aristocracy, they believe in breeding. They believe in the idea of the racehorses and the dogs, which is why they always speak of dogs and ponies, because it's something that they can identify with. They don't understand the idea of natural talent, which is why Harry was such a threat, because he's naturally talented. He kind of broke that mold. He's naturally talented. He was in it, but not of it. He's definitely just everything about him says, I know I'm a Windsor, but that's not who I am. I get that from him. So anyway, I wasn't even planning to do another video tonight, but just remember, just keep an eye on this stuff, because there is something going on with this whole Diana thing. And I believe that Martin Bashir, as much of a weasel as I think he is, I think that he's being made out to be a complete patsy, and there's really nothing he can do about it. So I think that the interview that Diana gave at the time should stand on its own merit, and there should be no assumption that she was coerced into anything other than sitting down with that god-awful Martin Bashir. But I don't blame him for what she said, because she spoke her truth. And now they're trying to whitewash it. They're trying to dilute it and make it seem as though she was so paranoid and so isolated and so fearful that she is not responsible for what she said. But she said what she meant, and she meant what she said. And from day one, there were 3 people in that marriage. I don't care how they try to spin this. From day one, there were 3 people in that marriage. Please like, share, and if the urge hits you, please donate. Everything that I have received so far has gone back into this channel. And also, it's greatly appreciated. So like, share, donate, but definitely subscribe. And if you think anybody else would fancy this channel, just tell them Baron is looking for as many subscribers as he can get. Anyway, you guys have a good night. Try to watch the Me You Can't See this weekend. I'm going to complete it. It's an emotional thing for me because of how I feel about the Duke of Sussex and how I feel about Oprah Winfrey. I mean, just 2 of the most dynamic people in the world who happen to be 2 of my favorite people in the world. And so do watch it if you haven't seen it. I have the Apple TV subscription. Mine was $4.99. I don't know if that's because of my phone or whatever, but anyway, that's what it cost me. Or maybe I'm subscribing to something else that I don't realize I'm subscribed to, but I guess that's the price. Whatever it is, it's definitely worth watching it. Take the 7-day trial if that's available for you, and watch this series. It'll do you the world of good. If there's something you need to say to someone and you've been unable, this will help you. If there's something you need to say and you've been unable, this will also be very helpful to you. So anyway, I'm Baron. Thank you so much. God bless. Good night. And to all of my Sussex Squad friends, I wish you all the best. I'm not done with the... I'm just kidding. This has been a long one. I am done. Good night, you guys.